What's going on? What's going on?
Sing it,
What's
baby. Sing it.
going on?
Sing it, baby.
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of The Breaks Radio. I am your slightly smaller Hayes. I've lost 22 pounds due to being sick as a motherfucking dog. We also got Baylor the Great in the building. What's going on, Baylor?
I'm in first class.
Baylor sitting on that Alcatara. We also got the red wine connoisseur himself,
Shout out
Marquise,
to
in the building.
DJ Key Slay representing.
And we'll definitely get in. I made K Slade the last topic of the day, but first off,
Shout out to 420 though, by the way.
oh yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
definitely
I got another
420.
day, huh? So you gonna if anything, you gonna gain some weight tomorrow. You gonna be hungry in a motherfucker.
Yeah, maybe
by midnight.
Kendrick Lamar announced his new album officially, dropping May 13th. The title of this one is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I can't wait to find out what that title means. Baylor, it's a Cali topic. Got to come to you first on this one, man. Where were you when you heard the news? How excited are you? Does the title do anything for you? What are you thinking about this album dropping officially?
I'm just, the Boogeyman is dropping on Friday the 13th. It's the last album under TDE. So it's going to be it's going to be bittersweet because we don't know if what's going to come after this. But I think because he's been away for so long and just gave us, verses here and there, it's like we already want more, and we don't even have a project yet. You know what I mean? So I don't even want to warm up to it because I know we got a topic coming up talking about a track list, and I don't even want the track list. Honestly, I want everything on that day. You know what I mean? So
the only thing I want him to drop is the Heart 5, and then give me the album a week later. That's it. That's all I want. I don't care about the album cover. None of that.
Yeah, give me a snack. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, album covers don't hit like they used to, man. And I think that's because we're doing a lot more streaming than anything. Not going out there to buy the physical copies and things like that. I think the last physical copy that I bought was Graduation and Jada's last album. I think those were the last two physical copies that I bought. But yeah, the album covers they still matter to me because that's what I grew up on. But not so much. But I am excited for this project. Everybody's excited for this project. The Boogeyman is coming.
All right, Marquis.
I think to add to this, so with Kendrick, there's a lot more deep thought, and I like to give him credit when he does release anything because he's really calculated. So I'll give him a lot of credit on his launches, his timing, and I think that video we saw recently of everything he did on Pusha T song that we never even caught up to. You know what I'm talking about, right? The reference for the video he did with Pusha T.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Everything he does is calculated. So I'm looking more for what's around this album. And yes, the album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, whatever the theme is, it's going to tie into something we probably won't even get in for years later. But what's to build to that, that's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, we know the Kendrick album is going to be dope. Like, there's no such thing as a bad Kendrick album. And even though if it's not everyone's cup of tea, again, there's minimum 4 mics, 4 minimum. It's just what we're going to take away from it, especially because this is the last album on TDE, on Top Dog and everything. So
I got a question after your take, Hayes. No, after Hayes' take though, because it's something that you said.
But other than that, I'm just looking for the journey to this album release. Put it that way.
My bad.
Word. Get it out
there. But so as far as you guys know, I am super big Kendrick fan. I can't wait for anything Kendrick does. I think Kendrick does not have. I wouldn't even say he doesn't have a bad album. I say nothing that he's done has been less than great. Especially when you look at the way that it's aged over time, the way that the meanings, like I said, To Pimp a Butterfly means more today than what it did the day that it dropped. Mm-hmm. And that it's music like that is rare, except when you have people like Kendrick Lamar who do it almost every time out. So I'm super excited for this album. The name was one that when I first saw it, I'm like, this it felt like it put me in the mind of like a Jordan Peele movie title.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I but with that being said, that's just from the name. I love the fact that he announced it in the style of Michael Jordan coming back in '95, which is just beautiful and amazing. But at the end of the day, it's about the music, and I trust that this music is going to be fire from Kendrick Lamar. Now, Bailey, you said you had something that came to mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, because Marquise just said that there's no such thing as a bad Kendrick project. So does this ultimately separate him from the other two? We already know who the other two are.
Absolutely. I've
Yeah,
Uh,
and I'm going to add to that. So, and I think most people who are true aficionados of hip hop would agree. Kendrick is in the top 10 of all time. There's no argument there. Like he's transcended generations. He's got to be mentioned in your top 10, and in his class, he's definitely way ahead of them.
okay.
definitely. And I think Kendrick's going to be one of those people who, if he does take a break from music, solo making music to focus on his company, whatever that is, between TV, film, cultivating other artists, things like that, that we are going. Let me be clear. Let me say we are going to see a latter half in life reconnaissance from Kendrick Lamar at some point. It's bound to happen. The same way that Nas has had with King's Disease, it's going to happen with Kendrick Lamar at some point. That's just
Keep you
period point blank.
keep using big words in front of company like that. Now I do got another question after Mary's take though.
Miss Mary Almonte's in the building. First of all, first lady of Rock the Bells, first lady of the Breaks Radio, one of the greatest hip hop minds that you will know. Period point blank. Miss Mary Almonte has joined us tonight. What's going on, Mary?
Hey guys.
Mary, we're talking about Kendrick Lamar announcing his final album on TDE. Where were you at? What do you feel about it? What do you think about the title? All those type of things.
Where was I at? I was on social media just like everyone else. Sorry, I'm trying to get my situation situated here, and I have you guys on like two screens and
I
don't
gotta
know where to look.
moisturize my situation. Preserve my
Yeah.
sexy. That's some Diddy shit. Go ahead.
So, anywho, basically, yeah, I was on social media like everybody else, and you know, I don't know. I feel like the anticipation of it has just been so long that I'll be excited when it's actually out.
Mm.
How about
That's
that?
fair. That's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna present this to you guys before we leave. What's been Kendrick's? What's been your least favorite Kendrick Lamar album?
Mm. We count Section 80, right?
Yes, absolutely, that counts.
I say, mm,
Good Kid,
I would
Mad
say,
City.
I say
Mm,
damn. I'll say damn.
Damn for
okay.
me too. And I thought that would be an unpopular opinion, but
I'll say Good Kid, Mad
Damn
City.
was so commercial for me.
See, that's the thing. It wasn't commercial for me when I first heard it.
When I first
It
heard it,
was
I
really
wouldn't. But
underground.
going back, I think it was Kendrick's version of commercial, if that's what we're gonna label it. But yeah, Damn to me, I love Damn. Right? Let me be clear. I still love Damn, but I will say that I think it hits less for me than some of his other albums do at this point.
I He has a lot less material on that album than he does everything else.
That's true.
And
That's
it's
true.
like a sequence that it goes in. So it's like a story. That's why I think it's more personal to me because
Definitely.
of the relevance. And the reason I said Good Kid, Mad City, it was a little raw. The production was a lot of Dr. Dre produced, which kind of took away from the actual value of the content. So there was like a distraction to me. But Damn was just raw. And Pimper Butterfly is just there's no such thing as another Pimper Butterfly. That's I don't even want to compare it to Illmatic. Like that's on another level. You know what I mean? Here's the thing I'm gonna say though. Kendrick to me is one of those artists that he never has to make music again after this album, and it's not the Donald Glover direction, but it's more of the world is truly your oyster. What do you want to do with it? And that's where I see Kendrick at. So if he never drops another album after this again, there's nothing he couldn't do, and we can't be surprised at what he does because it's going to take the world by storm. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, okay.
All righty.
what was
Next
yours?
up,
What did you say? Damn, right? You said damn was yours.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Okay. I just
Damn
want to
too.
like okay.
Damn too. And to pimp a butterfly, Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City. Um, what am I missing?
You just said them all.
I just said
Yeah,
them all. Okay, yeah. Okay, I
the
listed
four.
them
Yeah,
all.
the four
Oh,
people.
I always throw Untitled in there, but Untitled is
See,
like,
Untitled was amazing. I don't care what anybody said. That shit was
oh,
amazing.
as a I don't even know
Throwaway.
what to as just like a body of just random music. That
It's
was beautiful.
wasn't it a lost tapes? That's equivalent to
That
a
was
lost
basically
tapes.
yeah, basically.
That's what I thought it was. I never really bring that one up because I didn't he just he threw that to us during the pandemic, right?
No,
No,
that
that was
came out like
way
the
before
year
the pandemic.
after Pimp
That
a
was it.
Butterfly,
Yeah, it came out between the Pimp a Butterfly and between
Black
Damn.
Panther, right?
But he literally
Oh
just
yeah,
dropped it.
yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Because I remember he performed what did the white man say on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
Can't believe he got that away. But
I
let's get
can.
into the next topic. Pusha T dropped the track list and cover art for his next album. It's Almost Dry. Who wants to take this one away first?
How much cocaine is in the world at this point? Like between him and Benny, it's a lot of cocaine.
Some poppy seeds, bruh.
Yeah,
The
man.
poppies, bro.
Yeah. I look at this point. I'm listening to this album way different than how I'm listening to K Dots, and that's because at this point I just want to hear how it sounds. We already know that Pusha T is considered one of the boogeymans as well, so we already know lyrically what he can do. At this point, how's it gonna sound? And then is that sound going to stick with me for a while?
All right. I'm interested to see this Little Uzi Vert track with Pusha T because the mix of styles there, I feel like is gonna be something that I'm gonna listen to this and be like, why the fuck did this make the album, bro?
I mean, Don Toliver. I like him. When
But
I heard the Toliver track with Eminem, I said, this is like peanut butter and mayo.
we're also getting a verse from No Malice, which we haven't gotten a verse from Malice in a minute.
I'm going straight to track 12 for that. I'm going straight there.
So go ahead, Marquis.
I thought, oh no, you want me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no. So I gotta preface this by saying, prior to I thought the wrong brother retired. Right. I'll always say that Malice was always the nicest to me in the clips, and Pusha T proved me wrong. I just think the fact that he announced that he's gonna be more thoughtful. From what I've heard, the last 4 songs, I'm really not intrigued by this project. I hope he proves me wrong because I'm a big fan now, but I hope he proves me wrong.
All right, fair enough, Mary.
Yep.
Can't hear you.
Mute.
Mary,
Still
you're
mute.
on mute.
Still mute, Don. Oh, her system's messed up. I'll read. The break's the best place to get your hip hop. I am really fucking awesome. The world is my oyster. Kendrick should be dropping lines for me because I'm that motherfucking dope. Matter of
Sounds like something
fact,
Mary would say.
when I step in the booth, I'll blow Kendrick away. That's what she's saying right now.
Miss Almonte got bars? Okay. All right.
Oh, y'all don't know.
We don't know,
yeah.
bro.
So yeah, when we worked together, right? No, I'm sorry. She nice with it. She used to put stuff together. She never spit it, but she used to put stuff together. She got bars. She got bars. It's that yum life.
All right, cool.
Oh man, I got an idea.
What's that, Baylor?
Maybe not this episode, but next episode, but next show, we all gotta have. If you haven't had one already, I need one now. I need your rap name.
Well, Hayes, Mary, say something. Yeah, we don't know what's going on with Mary.
We're gonna call her the silent assassin.
Hey, that has negative connotation, bro. We're not gonna call her silent assassin.
So,
oh shit, what is that? All right, moving on to the next topic while Mary works out her audio issues. Origins of hip hop. This is coming to A&E Network. This is a new docu series where it's focusing on some key figures in hip hop. So it has contributions from Fat Joe, Busta Rhymes, Eve, Grandmaster Flash, Ice-T, Ja Rule, Little John, and Uncle Luke, just to name some few. Each rapper will reflect on their own personal journeys and evolution through music. So, Marquis, as the hip hop historian, What are your feelings on something like this, and especially it coming on a network like A&E?
It's amazing. I think Em and I have had these conversations before. It's time for the pioneers of hip hop to get their recognition, right? And I gotta give credit, a lot of credit to Nori. We're starting to hear stories from back then and how people came about, and we're appreciating them a lot more. So
Mhm.
when you get, and I think these major networks are now picking up on it, and especially with verses and everything, to bring you these stories, it's it's a it's a tribute and it's an appreciation. And I think it needs to be done because we have this for rock music, right? We get all
Mhm.
these stories about rock and everything. Now they're appreciating hip hop for what it is. So I think it's amazing. And the people they've chosen so far, hopefully they'll go a little bit further back with Herc and everything, but this is a good start.
Yeah. Baylor?
So is this considered like a mini documentary for each artist?
Yeah.
Okay, because to me when it comes to that, like, because like I said, Nori does it and we get the audio, you know what I mean. But I would love to see the visual development of everybody's career. I just want to know how in depth they're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? But we get the baseball bat with Q. You know what I mean? I want to know. I want to, and I've never heard it from his point of view either. You know, it's always been another person from another source describing the whole situation.
This is true.
So
Can I can I call you Hey? Because you're like half a haze right now. Can I just call you Hey?
No, nigga,
No?
what
Okay.
the fuck?
why you
Hey,
guys,
Yeah,
why you saying it like
hey,
that?
exactly. Like, no,
hey. No?
no,
Okay, my bad. Just
no,
wanted to, okay.
no. What the fuck? Mary, you want to try to talk again since we removed the second you? No? All right.
There's no second you. There's never a duplicate.
Moving right along. Next topic, Sid. Tie the knot. I wanted to throw some new music on here, and I want to throw some music on, that's outside of just some mainstream. Sid, I think, never gets quite the mainstream um topic that and I want to use the correct pronouns. I believe they go by they deserve. So what do you guys think about Sid, Tie the Knot? Did you get a chance to listen?
Yeah, I
Are
thought
they
it
tying a
was.
knot
I
with
thought it,
themselves after you just made that reference? I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I don't
Okay.
think they're trying, they're not asexual. They're just their pronouns are they and them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was solid. I thought it was all right. I thought it was all right. She has other tracks that she made before. They have
They,
other
yeah,
tracks
they.
that was out prior and that that stick with me, but not this one. It's all right. Play it in the background.
Okay. Keys.
Can you provide a little more detail on they? The
What?
project is cool. It's the same thing everything we're hearing all the time, but I like to have a little more background on that.
Background on what?
They.
What? No, no, that's not what this is about. That's her
I
preferred pronoun. That's
is
it.
is there a set way of doing things? I just want to know. Like, if I'm listening, okay. So what's the title of the song?
Tie the knot.
Tie the knot. Okay, who we tying the knot with?
Bro, you're doing that. You're doing that over analytical shit again,
Am
Marquise.
I? I just
Yes, bro.
this is music is an expression and creation of exactly who you are. And if you're saying they, who we tying a knot with? I just
That's not necessarily true. Sometimes music is also expression of what you see. So just because she's saying tie
okay,
the knot, it's not necessarily saying they are tying the knot. It may be tying what they've seen come from tying the knot before. Again, it
so
could also not be literal tying the knot either.
okay,
So
It
they
could be a metaphor, but
yeah.
you probably got to go and break
wait,
down the lyrics for
wait. The
that.
fact that you said literally tying the knot, literally tying the knot is actually going to the woods and tying a knot. Literally, we're talking about obviously clearly getting married, right?
Mhm.
Okay. The song lyrics are based on someone tying the knot, but now that you've introduced they, I'm intrigued. That's all I'm saying.
Why? Why does that make you intrigued? Because somebody's pronoun shouldn't
Because
make you more
I
intrigued by the music.
no exactly. So now because I'm always hearing songs about they getting married or whatever like that. But
Mhm.
now that you've introduced they, there's now a story I want to hear. That's all.
Well, I
You
think
get what I'm saying? It makes the story more
that
intriguing.
story is more about the person than the music. So I mean, if you want to get to know
It's
the
not a person. A
person,
person is he, she, but this is they.
this they is still a person. That's just the pronoun that they decide to go off of.
Okay.
And there is a
They decide to.
there's very much a story about their life out there. There's very much out there if you want to get to know them. Mary's tripping.
If we don't get canceled,
That's you,
we
bro.
better get signed.
Jack Harlow, First Class.
Go for it.
That's very rare that the sample track sounds way better than the original.
This shit is garbage, bro. How the fuck is this the number one song in the country? This is garbage. I'm sorry. Jack Harlow is quickly becoming one of those artists that I'm going to look at and be like, "Hey man, listen, you had so much potential, and you just decided you could have went here. You started off here. You could have went here. You decided to stay somewhere around here. Like this shit is garbage, fam. I'm not a fan of this shit at all.
I like it.
Marquis, split the difference.
So remember that conversation I had when I was introduced to Jack Harlow, and I said his first project was safe, and I hope he doesn't go in this direction, like the Kid Cudi direction. He went the opposite direction. At least Kid Cudi played it safe. He took a dive.
I'm hoping the album is a lot better than this, but like seriously, I still like Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow still has a lot of skill. He's still one of the best in I think in his era, right? But it's quickly going to become very soon that just like with Logic, it became all about the plight of the biracial rapper. And at some point, that got tired. I'm getting tired of Jack Harlow's shit.
Well, what is he doing? What is he doing that's similar to what
being the acceptable white boy?
But they will always be that.
That's fine, but you can have more substance than that. There got to be something meaningful going on in your life.
But why he can't be somebody that he's not. He's going to be the smooth rapping white boy.
That's fine, but that's a skill. That's not telling us who you are. When he goes home and he deals with his trials and tribulations, I guarantee he's not like, oh yeah, mom, I'm the cool white boy. Like there has to be something to Jack Harlow, the person there.
Well, when you say home, are you talking about his actual family? Or are you talking about the people that were supporting him from Louisville?
I'm talking about both, bro. Like the people from Louisville, I guarantee you know about Jack, know more and feel more and support Jack Harlow the way that they do more just because he's just the acceptable white boy.
But his support has been consistent. Nobody has said anything negative about him because
you're right, and nobody's gonna say nothing negative about him. But at the end of the day, like you like okay, so you want to make like so to me, what he's doing is that he's gonna be the Lady Gaga of rap, and that's fine if that's what you want to be. But he has more skill than that.
Well, you saying skill? What does the skill have to do with like the content? Are you saying the content, or are you talking about the content?
Set? I'm talking about the content. His skill can't be questioned.
What do you want him to rap about?
Something meaningful, brother. Go ahead, Marquis.
Okay, here's my problem, and I'll give you a lot of credit, Bailey. You introduced me, like you kind of pushed me to listen to him. And what Hayes is saying, the dude is undeniably talented lyrically. And my problem is, I think he's caught up in the hype right now. I watched him on The Shop, and you can see he's caught up in the fame. He wants to deliver for the fans. Same thing with Punch. He's looking for the lines, the punchlines. He's looking for the adoration for the fans and everything. And then he received a little bit more fame for being on the track with Lil Nas X, right? I think he's playing it safe, trying to make music for people as opposed to actually sharing stories about him and how lyrically inclined he actually is. It's kind of disheartening. And that was my problem with, and I said this before, I hope he lives up and lives beyond this hype and actually lives up to the lyrical prowess that he has. And he's not doing that. It's just safe. And maybe that's what he wants to do, but
I think outside of outside of the boogeyman, everybody plays it safe. Because when you put yourself in a position,
then you become another one of them.
I get that,
you know what I mean?
but you're actually contradicting yourself, because if in that case you would want him to be like who you want him to be like, that's not the case though.
That's not what I want.
Look, let's just say his personal goal is to do what he's doing now, is to be famous, right? So he's getting there. And he's making a safe music because he knows that if you make safe music in today's world, that opens up the other doors for you to grab other bags.
Okay.
Right. So go ahead. Okay. So go ahead and wait till he can. Let's listen to the albums that he dropped and listen to the B-sides. if the B-side is sounding very similar to his singles, you got a valid point. But how many cats have been coming out within the past decade or so where you found them on IG or whatever low budget streaming service, and then they actually blew up, and they don't keep the same energy. They don't make the same music. A lot. What's her name? LMA. She kind of went
LMA?
that same. Yeah, she kind of
Yeah.
went that same route.
I feel where
Before
you're coming
cats,
from with that.
before
I feel where you're coming
she
from with that.
blew up, she was making some beautiful music.
I know.
Now she's making music for everybody, and it just don't feel the same. But that comes a part of the fame, especially when you sign to a label.
I get what you're saying, B. But the thing for music with me is an experience, right? If I'm listening to your music, I'm experiencing something. I'm associate myself with you. Just like looking at art. If I look at a Picasso, there's some way I don't want to know your interpretation of it, and Picasso don't want to tell you why he did it. You have to relate to his art. For
Mhm.
me, when I tie myself into certain musicians or I want to align or associate. And the perfect example is Kendrick. He's damn sure not trying to give you what you want. He's giving you what the best of him and what makes him a great artist. J. Cole, the same thing. He's not going to give you everything you want. He's giving you what he feels. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to stand by. This is the music I'm producing. My problem with
Mhm.
Jack Harlow is he has the same potential. He's just not delivering on that. Now he's just giving you what he thinks you want to hear. You get what I'm saying?
I think we all do that in our own lanes, though. I actually do that with my with my clothing brand. I don't necessarily make stuff that I personally like. I'm trying to find out that's going to fit with everybody.
There's a difference
Then once
though.
you get it, then when you get inside the door, for the people that's been rocking with you, they still gonna rock with you.
But there's a
But
difference though. You tie yourself personally into that. Your interpretation of what you put out there, because I see what you do. Your interpretation is still what the mass want, but you put your personal spin on it to make sure that Baylor is a tag. Here's my tag. I'm co-signing this because same thing with your TikToks. Everything you do, everything I watched you do, you personally aligned yourself with who your belief is, and I'm putting this out to the masses. There's never a fake Baylor. There's never a socially acceptable Baylor to digest. There's always who you are. My point is, Jack Harlow should be doing the same thing. Here's one. I'm not socially accepting. I don't want you to accept who I am or who you think you want me to be. This is who I am. I'm going to make it diet Jack Harlow, but it's still going to be Jack Harlow. This song, I don't see that at all. I just see this as him giving something to the fans. I don't see Jack Harlow because this could have been Justin Timberlake.
Mm.
I don't see
so they
any
put a
soul in this
batter.
one.
So you saying he's about to have a battery in his back.
I think I'm back,
There
yo.
she is.
All right
Hey
now.
guys.
I think this song was for the ladies. I think we're overthinking it. I think he just tried to do something real quick that he knew that chicks would feel, and it was a simple formula that he followed. I also think it is way too soon to be sampling Fergie.
I thought it was a good sample.
No, it was not. It was not bad. It wasn't poorly used at all. But I'm just like, it makes. I do not like songs that are like 20 years old getting sampled. That's just me because it makes me feel old.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Got a lot of airtime, Jack Harlow. Do something with it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's move
But I
on.
think he
Hey,
does
Marquis, you
do
got
something
something?
with it. Jack Harlow actually speaks out about a lot of things. I don't
Okay,
think
and as much as I talked about his music, I will say his activism and what he like. Yes,
he does a
you
lot
can't
with
question
it.
it.
He does.
Yes,
Every red
yes,
carpet he's on, he's talking about the homophobia that exists
yeah.
within the hip hop community that you sort of just brought back up with that they them conversation. But yeah, like he speaks out about a lot. I think if you pay attention, he's not wasting his 15 minutes.
No. I 100% agree with that. I saw he did it with Lil Nas X and everything because that was a great statement. We're talking about this particular song. That's my reference
But
right
you
there.
gotta
That's
do
all.
one for the ladies. You gotta. Like this is
Coming from a
how to
lady,
be a
I'm gonna
pop
step back.
star 101, right? Like
Okay.
so
Yeah.
and that song is spinning heavy on all radio
It's the
stations right
number
now.
number one song in the country right now. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's doing what he needed to do, honestly.
it gave Mary's saying it gave what it needed to give, Marquis. That's
It
what she's saying.
did. It gave.
All right, Marquis, you got something for Black people like rock too?
I do. I Dude. So yeah, I'm gonna follow the same format because I think it's real simple. Because the albums that came out, I wasn't really impressed with. Jack White came out with an album, and it was like, eh. So I'm gonna do Quick Time with Key. Y'all ready?
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you two
Shout out.
bands.
Hey, hold on. Shout out because I had just recently said that I was getting into Radiohead. Marquis dropped a Radiohead playlist on me that man, hey, this playlist needs to be shared with the world, brother. So
Really?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
but go ahead. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. Thank you for listening, sir. I do appreciate that. I'm a big Radiohead fan, so you know. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So again, Quick Time with Key. I'm gonna give you two names, two bands, verses. You tell me which one. Give me one line why you chose them. Y'all ready?
Okay.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Coldplay versus the Killers.
Oh,
Coldplay.
that's a hard one,
One
bro.
line. Mr. Part-time Manager Assistant in Training. You said Coldplay. Why? One line.
I didn't, but I am gonna say
You
Coldplay
okay?
because
Why?
it was on because I've probably heard more songs from them than the Killers, but I think the Killers got a better name.
I'm gonna leave that one there. Go ahead, Hayes. You said Coldplay then.
I said Coldplay, and the only
Go ahead.
reason why I'll say Coldplay is because I got to experience Coldplay live thrice, and
Thrice.
so
Nice.
So I
That's a
guess
major story. I hear that. Go ahead.
that'll be my deciding factor too. Then I guess I've never seen the Killers live. I have seen Coldplay live, but
I know you have.
sheesh,
Can you
that's a
share
hard
why
one.
you saw? Can you share where you saw the Coldplay live?
Yeah, Global Citizen Festival, that where I
And
used to
who?
work.
Yes. And what did you do there?
No, we're
Because you
not
were
doing
saving the
that.
world. I appreciate that. That's all I'm saying. Okay, fine.
Anyway,
All right. Fall Out Boy versus Panic at the Disco.
uh, Fallout Boy, but that was another tough one.
Why?
They're a better band.
Okay.
Fallout Boy just because I'm more familiar.
Okay.
Follow Up Boy because the other band name is too long.
You know they did Into the Unknown, right? With Frozen 2. Hayes, I thought your daughter would know that, but okay.
Probably does.
All right. Gwen Stefani versus Pink.
Gwen
Ooh.
Stefani by far.
I know. I know.
That's a
Go
tough
ahead.
one, but I'll
I
go
know.
Gwen Stefani too, only because I became a fan of her first.
See, you can't include No Doubt. That's the problem. But go
Are you
ahead.
you're saying take away No Doubt?
You have to take away No Doubt. Yes.
Oh
You
fuck
know what? Fuck
that.
that. Include No Doubt. Do whatever you want to
Oh
do. This
okay.
is up to you.
Well
This is
yeah,
up
if
to
we're
you.
including No
Okay.
Doubt, then it's definitely Gwen Stefani.
Okay. Baylor.
Pink because she looked like she'll help me fight.
She do. She be
Should definitely
slashing
stab a
tires,
couple
yo.
motherfuckers. Like
Yo, for real. She gangsta the motherfucker. My last one. Slave versus Sly and his Family Stone.
Sly and the Family Stone,
I
because
would
I'm a
never
black
pick
man,
anything.
and you were never gonna catch
Yeah.
me saying anything preferring slave on a public platform as a black man in America. So
Same here.
Have you heard the
Yeah.
music before?
yeah, I have,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's it for me.
Mary didn't get to answer that one though.
She is
No,
on our.
I
Yep.
said yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right,
So
moving on.
at one point, I am going to give you my perspective on all these, but I'm going to leave that alone for a while. But let's move on.
Power Force, the finale happened.
Fuck it. I'm sorry. Fuck power. I'm sorry. You motherfuckers got me wrapped up in this show and Tommy and everything, and this is what they give me? Fuck y'all. I'm sorry. I have nothing to say about this shit. Fuck Power Force. Fuck them. Tommy, this shit, this is, yo, I swear to God, it's like my Roblox stock. I was up. This shit dropped like Netflix. This shit dropped. Like it's way fucking down. Fuck all y'all. I don't give a fuck. I'm going on mute. Y'all can say whatever y'all want, but fuck this season.
All right.
Well, I suppose I should go on mute too because I did not watch the finale yet, and truthfully, I guess
Fuck
kind
it.
of in the same vein as Marquis. Like I'm not feeling. Usually, I'd be like, "Oh damn, I really got to make time and watch this," and I'm really not feeling the urge. Like I'm just like, I'll get around to it, but carry
I
on.
understand that they had to take a whole season to introduce us to a new city and new characters, and there's some of the new characters in it I really do enjoy it, right? I think that there is something to be said about Vic there. I definitely like Diamond. Liliana turned into one of my favorite characters, and to be a random character from the original series to turn into what she turned into. But overall, this story has just been, they took what could have been an old school gang turf tribal type thing, and it just nothing in this show hit for me long term, and it's bothersome. I think that could it turn into a much better show in season 2, yeah, but this season was kind of just the if it wasn't for it being Tommy, who's one of the best characters in the Power universe, I probably wouldn't have watched it after episode 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would co-sign that too.
Baylor,
I actually enjoyed every bit of it. They took my boo
yeah.
thing away from me. I'm upset about that. The reason why I enjoyed it because I enjoyed it for what it was. I think there was no if there was no such thing as the first original Power, then everything would have been structured a little bit different. But because this was a spinoff, we're already familiar with a couple of characters, but we had to get introduced to a whole nother wave of characters. Um, I do believe that, like I said, if this would have been the what do you want to call
What
the
the heck is that?
premiere I don't know. If this would have been like the original first Power, things would have been written differently. We would have digested it in a different way. But I would say my heavy criticism will come next season, because if they don't pick it up from there, then yeah, they pretty much lost it. This slow burn, I was cool with. I was cool with it. Maybe that's because I had other shows that had picked up around me. So again, I didn't expect that much, because again, like Hayes said, there's really only one. I mean, besides Tommy, there's really only one character that we grew to have feelings for, and that was it. And even then, there's still a lot of characters that I'm not really fond of, but I'm pretty sure once we get to season 2 of that series, then um, I'm optimistic that it'll pick up. But I enjoyed it. I didn't have any problems with it.
All right. Hey, I mean, from no problems. If you say Marquise, come on, bro, for real, stop that, man.
I was ready to go. I'm sorry, I was ready to go
Come
there.
come
My bad. Okay, my bad.
I
on.
would not sleep in my house if that thing was in it. By the way.
I mean, I guess that's our thoughts on Power. Force. Let's go ahead and move on. Snowfall, which the season finale is tonight. Snowfall, my feelings are almost the exact opposite on everything Power. This season has been amazing from top to bottom. I love the way that the series has been written. I like the change of pace about halfway through the season, and then it changed again towards the end here. Which is going to be interesting because I feel like they changed the pace with a couple of episodes only left. But what does that mean for the future? Um, but Snowfall continues to be one of the best written shows on television overall for me. What about you, Mary?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know, man. Not getting Kane when she sent the cop to do the job might really be the ruination of Louis. Was it something I said?
No, it's not you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Pounds.
I'm hyped to watch it. Hopefully I stay up tonight to catch up. But I mean, listen, looking at the previews for this week definitely look like, well, all right. Are we recapping this? Basically,
Yeah.
last episode ended with Franklin telling Teddy he was out of the game and telling Louis that, it's all hers. She always wanted to be out front. And now here it is as the heat is turning up because her hit on Kane failed. And Leon seems like he might have snitched or dry snitched or something. Who knows? He definitely separated himself from the situation. So it looks like it's all going to intensify this week. And I don't know. We all know that Teddy ain't letting Franklin go. This ain't like you can't just give your 2 weeks notice in this game. So I don't know. I feel like it's about to get real. And then we're going to have
I've been
months
telling y'all,
to
I'm not
wait.
gonna be surprised if Lou dies. I'm telling y'all, I'm not gonna be surprised if Lou dies. And when I said
That's what
that,
everybody's saying,
listen.
including my son.
I would not be surprised at all if Lou dies. And then, like, she's been doing way more interviews and like random podcasts lately and things like that. I would not be surprised. And maybe that's just me
I
trying
just
to
feel
read
like
tea
for
leaves
her
that
to
aren't
have
there.
survived that last hit and then die would really be like, damn, you know what I mean? But I do think she deserves to die.
Mm.
Cause like the way she's moving is real crazy. And then Jerome is like, I don't know. Like, bro, you need to control your chick. Like, this is a little crazy.
All
Like
right.
Franklin's her nephew. You know the way she's moving is bad business. Let's not, oh no.
I
Let
feel it.
her destroy everything we built.
I feel it. Baylor?
Well, this is one of the first times we've seen Franklin seem to like show his cards because the
Mm.
season where he was injured, well, we all thought he was injured, where he was walking with his cane, he was playing possum. I felt like this season he was doing the same thing, but it seems like with him being in a relationship, baby on the way, him trying to venture off in different businesses and things like that, it seems like his emotions is coming out a little bit more, which is showing his cards. He's being upfront with everybody. You've seen the back and forth between him and Lou. You've seen the back and forth between him and Teddy. Um, so now they create is created more tension amongst all the characters now. So it'd be interesting to see how things play out with Franklin because I don't think he has I don't think he has a position of playing possum anymore. Everything has to be straightforward and upfront. So yeah, I'm. It'd be interesting because we know the last season is coming up. I just don't know how it's going to all end. But we do know, like you said, the last episode is tonight. Um, let the bodies hit the floor.
Hey, 23
And
pounds less. You there?
it'll
Hmm?
be on. It's on you, Marquise. What you think?
Oh, um, I think I think you just pretty much said what's gonna happen. I think he's playing a ruse. I think he is slowly but surely masterminding all of this, giving everyone the power, think they have the power, and I can take it away from you. My question is, who's going to be the one to put the bullet in Teddy? But yeah, Louis going to die. Jerome's going to go crazy. Um, the greatest scene was him having a conversation with himself. That was intense. That whole blue moment, that was insane. I loved every bit about it.
Well, that was
He
two
is
episodes. Wait, didn't we talk about that? Or no, we haven't talked about that one.
nope.
No.
Building up
That
all
was two
that,
episodes ago.
I know, but think about that. The self discovery, right? That self act, that the realization for him to have with himself and him to step out and say, I'm backing away from all this. No, he
Well,
told you what
here's
he's
the
going to do.
deal though. I think what does Louis want? You know what I mean? It's like, yo, y'all, like, it's kind of like Franklin had said to her, y'all have enough money. I mean, here's the thing. What was so masterful was that they had that wedding episode really showed the importance of family and togetherness for
Mhm.
Franklin. And then the very next episode shows,
That didn't matter to him. That didn't
But you
matter to
got.
I
him.
think it
But
did. I think it
I don't think
did.
it did. I
I
think
think
it
it
was
did.
important
When
enough, but he
Louis
still
at
needed
when
control.
listen, he was willing to forgive her for the Kane shit. Did you not see that? Like
I
he
saw
literally was
that.
Yeah.
like, "I understand
I'm
why you did what
telling
you did."
you,
It
but
wasn't
Mhm.
I'm
until they admitted that they were going to the plug Teddy behind his
mhm.
back was
And he
when he
backed
was
away from
like,
it.
"All right, now this is not forgivable."
Yeah,
Like,
no, no, no. But he backed away from it and stepped out, right? I think that was a chess move. You want control, you want power, you
right?
want
Of
to see what
course it
I deal
is.
with. Okay, I'm telling you, you're right. I think everything's gonna fall apart, but I think he's masterminding. I think he's Walter Whiting it, but I also think we're witnessing the greatest villain, a creation of a villain before our eyes. They're masterminding the shit, and Franklin is becoming the greatest villain we've ever seen.
Well, he's kind of been that, to be honest with you. I
Nah,
think
we
so.
between the Joker, between all that. No, I'm talking about literally the greatest villain we've ever seen on TV.
You think it's gonna be Franklin?
I think it's leading up to Franklin. He's not gonna die. He's gonna mastermind some shit, and he's gonna end up being the greatest villain ever. He, how Walter White ended up as whatever we built up to Walter White. Walter White made too many mistakes. they're eliminating that with him. That's what I'm thinking. That's how great that
Mm-mm.
character Franklin is.
Okay.
I think that character is great, but if we talking about all time, it's a couple of cats he don't hold a candle to,
Such
Okay.
as
and Walter White is one of them.
yeah,
I'm
Walter White
sorry.
is
I think
Walter White's the greatest
but
written character in
Walter
all of.
White made some dumbass mistakes that you're like, what you didn't catch that?
Franklin made
I,
some dumbass mistakes too.
Yeah,
yeah,
he
but
did.
he's not at
Franklin narrowly
Franklin's
escaped
not at
the
the
last
top.
situation he was just in, which
Franklin's not at the
also.
Yeah.
understandable. Franklin is not at the top. Walter White was at the peak, and then it was his downfall. He recognized his mistake. I'm telling you, I still think Franklin's gonna walk away unscathed.
I think Franklin's going to end up in jail
Okay,
Mhm.
because there was only two ways out of that.
okay. And I promise you, I believe Franklin is the one that's gonna figure it out. That's how brilliant they made him.
So what do you think he's going to do? Wind up in Cuba?
No,
I mean, listen,
no.
obviously this show is loosely based on true events. None
Right.
of those situations ended well.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I somehow I
I
feel
mean, look at
Franklin's is.
even like no one from that era came out the scuff without a
No one
scuffle.
from that era was that intelligent
Yeah, but you unless you're
that could have
saying
worked for the
that
CIA.
unless you saying that they're gonna throw some Disney shit on there, some Disney
Nope.
spin on there.
No,
We've never met a successful drug lord. Either they
he's not a
dead
drug
in
lord.
jail or we don't know about them.
He's not a drug lord. That's the
All
thing.
right, so you're sounding delusional. He's not a drug lord. What is he?
No, it's not about him. He's not a drug lord. He's a
So
business.
he's just moving imaginary plants over
No,
an
that's
imaginary
not what I'm saying.
line.
So wait, all right. Well,
So what is
explain this to me, then, Marquise. Do you think
Was
he's at
Walter
a
White a
higher?
drug lord?
I'm about to ask you. So is there levels to this?
Yes. The person
So
behind the person
so
behind the person. Yeah, absolutely.
so is a drug? Do you consider a drug lord at the peak, or is it somewhere in
I
the
think he's
chain?
beyond that. I think he's beyond that. I think he's beyond
Okay,
Teddy.
so at one point he was a drug lord.
At one point he was. He's no longer a drug lord.
What do you
But
consider
you're a
him?
drug lord if you make your money off of drugs,
But
right?
he's not just making his money off of
Not
drugs.
just, but it's in the portfolio.
That's a whole other question. What define a drug lord? I'm saying he's a mastermind. He's becoming a true mastermind. That's it. His one portfolio isn't just on drugs.
Okay,
All
that's
right,
like
so what
saying
about the
that's
baby
like saying
mama?
Jay-Z. That's like saying Jay-Z is a billionaire. We knew that, but how did he get there?
Not just
By
off
being a
drugs, off
by
of
be-
rap,
by
off
being
of the
by
crack
being
game. You have to screw somebody over to get. I get that. You marry Beyonce, get there, whatever. But there's a lot of things that come into being a billionaire. Like how many drug deal? How come what's his dude? Pusha T isn't a billionaire. He was a drug lord, but he's not a billionaire, right?
Well, no, but the thing, I think we're getting away from the real topic, right? Franklin is currently still a drug lord because he is still moving. He's responsible for moving drugs.
But
If he like
90%
totally was legit,
of the
then
weight 90% of the weight is moved by his uncle and his aunt, right?
but
But-
who's supplying them? It's
Teddy,
him.
Teddy's
No.
supplying them.
Well, now, but
no,
before then,
Teddy-
it was him. That's
All I'm
recent.
saying is, I get what you're
He
saying.
is still
What-
involved in drugs.
Yes.
Like,
What I'm saying is he's not going to be considered just a drug lord. He's still a mastermind.
But that's
all I'm
if
going.
he.
you
That's
could be a
if
drug
he
lord
gets
and a
out of-
mastermind.
That's if he gets out of the
He's not going to be
game.
limited to that. That's all.
Like right now, technically, right now, he is a drug lord. Right now, he's still in the dope game.
Let's take it back. What I'm saying is, when this is all over, season 6, he's not going to die. He's going to
Yeah.
be somewhere else in a position where no one can even fathom. When Walter White failed, he's not going to fail. That's where I'm going with it.
Okay,
we'll
what
see.
about the baby mama?
We'll see.
She's going to die.
Really?
I
Which is
kind of
going to
feel
make
that
him
way.
more. Which is going to make him even more.
What about Leon?
Leon
this season-
Leon's the one that I want to see get away scot free. Like
He's
let,
gonna
let
have
Franklin
to.
go to jail. Leon's the
Nas
one that
go
I
to
want to
Africa.
see go to Africa and just live out his life, man. He deserves
too.
it.
Leon, I want
And the
Leon to
fact
end
that
up
you
being
all
like a
feel that
teacher or
way is
something.
why he might have to die. Because your heart is stuck on that.
What about Avi?
If they leave him alive, that's I don't know. That's the KGB, right?
No, he's Israeli.
No. I'm talking about the one who broke into his place and put him in a chokehold and everything. They're the
Yeah.
KGB, right? Who are they? What's their group called? Because it's not the CIA. Who are they?
We don't know
Cuba.
yet.
No.
I could have sworn I heard KGB mentioned. Bottom line is Whatever happens after that, he didn't die. He was just
He was
unconscious.
passed out. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not going to die. He's not going to die. Because
I
if they
actually
want
like
him dead, he
Avi
would
a
have died.
lot.
I
I
love
want to see
Avi.
him make
Avi's
it
yeah,
too.
yeah.
He's philosophical. I like him. He's like, he knows brilliance. He recognized brilliance, but he also knows his place in the world.
Well, what about Teddy? What's
Teddy,
gonna
that
happen to
nigga's
him?
he's getting on my nerve.
I know
Teddy
mine
gotta
too.
die.
He gotta die.
Teddy gotta die.
He gotta die. He gotta die. But that'll stop a lot of things. Just like if you kill Avi, he's the gun supplier.
Right.
Those are some big wigs right there.
What about Sissy? Because this is betrayal too, what she's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's his mom
Yeah.
though. Like
That's his mother, but it's still like,
I
yo,
mean,
you're talking
hey,
to
She's
some
not
remember-
going to
kind of.
die.
Yeah, but remember
Huh?
we at one
She's
point
not
we
gonna
said
die.
that's his dad too.
She's not. She's smart enough not. She's not going to die. You're not going to create that much of a monster for Franklin. He needs some type of balance.
Hey,
He needs
you
some
let-
balance.
So what do you think comes
Marquise.
of Kane's situation?
that's why I think Lou gotta go.
Yeah.
Because you gotta look at it this way, and not only because Franklin is still gonna be selling drugs season 6, like he has to be. Lou goes away.
Or does he take the place of Teddy?
Who? Kane?
Freddie. I mean
They
Franklin.
they will need to extend the seasons then, bro. Because
Yeah,
you're not
no.
about to give us that transition in one season, and we accept that.
Yeah.
They've already did it this season with
Yeah.
installing the
So,
chick that
okay.
we don't know nothing about.
If this is based on real life, then what happened right when the 90s kicked in?
Mark, you just know how to extend the goddamn topic, bro. Like you will throw in 5,000
Yeah, Marquis is getting
hypotheticals.
on Hayes'
Jesus
nerves
Christ.
I'm just a
No.
what if person.
To answer Mary's question, which we have not answered as a group yet, what happens to Kane? I think Kane's taking Lou out.
Well, so
the
his
cop is
crib-
the cop is currently on her payroll too, though.
Yeah,
Let's
that
not
is
forget
true.
that.
So
Now
Well-
that's a good pickup though. That was smart. That's a smart move.
yeah.
we shall see.
And if that happened, she can't die in this season finale then.
It's not necessarily true.
I don't know,
We'll
man.
find out tonight.
I don't put it
That
past.
was
I
a
don't put it
ma- like
past.
you
I
said,
don't
that was
put
a
it past
major pickup.
anybody.
That was a major pickup. If she picked him up, there's got to be something to that.
I
So what if
throw-
Jerome dies?
I'll throw a curveball in there for everybody. Do you think the other characters are strong enough for Franklin to die
No.
right
No.
now?
No.
No.
There's no one
Okay.
strong enough.
Okay.
Jerome, I do
But-
not want Jerome to die.
but if Jerome
is such a
dies-
linchpin.
If Jerome dies and Auntie takes over, and she has a vendetta,
It'll be much easier if Louis dies and then Jerome will just get back in line with Franklin, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't see that because
Yeah.
he's going to blame Franklin.
It depends on
I
how
don't
it
think
goes
so.
down.
He knew she was going off
Yeah.
rails.
Okay.
He
But
wasn't
he
happy
wants
about
to
it.
save
He
his
was just
people.
whooped.
But they both was trying to go down south and start their own pipeline.
Yeah.
Right, but with Franklin's blessing, it was always her that would want to, like, I don't know, try to take over.
Hey, so you
shit.
got a lot of editing to do, bro.
Why?
Why?
This is a lot. This is a rabbit hole. We go with this?
Bro,
Yeah.
every
I can
time
go
you're on
further
a podcast, we go on a rabbit hole.
I can go further down, but
But I don't think this is problematic.
this
we're
is-
we're
yeah,
speculating
no.
about a show.
All right, let's get into the last show, Atlanta. What do you guys made of this crazy ass season of Atlanta so far? We've so many just random one-off episodes that have been
Mhm.
entertaining, but it's just like the whole reparations episode. That shit.
That was great.
I was watching it the whole time. Like, this is literally one of the funniest things I've seen on TV ever. But the fact that it's like a random episode in the middle of Atlanta is like crazy. But it was
Well,
funny
I
as
feel
hell.
like it's a pattern. If you look, it's like
Mhm.
one random and then one back to the cast. One random, one back to the cast.
Yeah.
So, but that was great, by the way.
Yeah.
And then it made me wonder. First of all, I feel like that shit is very possible. Like that. I hope that the government was watching because that is a way.
And that's why it wouldn't happen because the government is watching.
Well, the other thing is, it made me wonder what happens to people like you, Hayes, where you could be owed reparations on one side, but then you could be related to a slave owner on the other.
You got to pay yourself.
No.
It's kind of crazy.
Baylor.
I second that
Hayes,
question, Hayes.
Hayes hates us.
Hayes. All I gotta say is,
He's a quarter less.
I would
Hayes is
pray that
gonna have Shaniqua
nobody has
outside.
followed me around asking for $3 million. That's all I gotta say on
Ain't
that. That was
nobody
it.
following me around either, because I'm gonna tell you, look, I ain't got it, motherfucker.
I
So
definitely ain't got it.
Well, then you're gonna be waiting tables and giving
there ain't no tables. Hayes
15%.
don't wait tables. They can wait patiently in hell with everybody else.
Shaniqua with Hitler and German motherfuckers 9. I'm sorry.
I
Go ahead.
cannot. But anyway, that was a really interesting concept. But yeah, and then we switched to the episode where Paper, Paperboy's phone is lost, and then it's the
Yo,
dude who almost dropped the N bomb in the end of it. What the
right.
hell was that? It was just, listen, and Atlanta is hella entertaining, but there have been some episodes or moments, should I say, this season where I'm just like, what am I watching? And that was one. It was like, okay, what did this just? I mean, the episode before it was so thought provoking, and then that episode was just so, it felt like I just wasted minutes of my life.
Looking
It
for
that
his
I'll
felt it
never
felt
get
like
back.
that episode was like a Saturday Night Live skit that just got dragged on for a whole episode.
Yeah.
Like it was just going too long. Go ahead, Marquis.
Now I want Baylor to speak on this one because I'll give you my takeaway in a minute.
I don't know. I don't have much to say about this episode. I think the one thing that stands out is that I don't even know how this season is going to end. It's so random. So I think the only thing that we can take away from it is the relationship between and the names are slipping me right now.
Van.
Who?
Van? Because Van ghosted Ern.
Yeah, and I'm paying close attention to that relationship because it seems like he's being a little bit more emotional about it.
My
You know
thing
what I mean?
is, how do you have a child with someone and then just not respond for days? Like, I
Well,
don't know. That was a little weird.
right, but she just seemed like she just on her own little journey. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like outside
I
of
mean,
the
after
crew,
killing
but
Tupac, they kind of are.
yeah,
Well,
but
did
she
she kill Tupac? It
Well,
wasn't her.
bearing witness to the death of Tupac.
yeah, but she just
Right.
seemed like she seems like she just on some LSD trip like the
She
whole
does.
season,
One
and
that's,
then
yes, a season
yeah,
long one.
yeah, and
What?
he
But,
seems more concerned and emotional about it though. You know what I mean?
well, here's the thing, too. We never really get into the metaphors of this season, right? Like even the killing
Mhm.
Tupac thing. It's like we could speculate, like that was very symbolic for what white people kind of think that that every just label black people as like these random motherfuckers. Are you saying something? Oh, I think he's on mute. But yeah, I don't know. But I do feel like maybe, or I'd hope or like to see them explore perhaps her kind of going through like a crisis. I don't want to say midlife crisis because I think they're younger than that in the show, but motherhood, right? Like because again, how do you even go on a damn trip like that and leave your damn kid? Like, so I don't know. I definitely think that they hint at deeper things, but you have to really be paying attention to catch it.
Yeah.
That is all.
Anything left with Atlanta before we move on?
Absolutely
Yeah. Keep it
masterful. I think
So does man.
yeah, I think the issue I have, I don't understand why the dude um stole his phone, but I do recognize Paperboy when he found why he loved music. And that was an emotional moment for me specifically because as, listening to music or creating music, when you actually refine your passion, and it's taken away from you and it's thrown away that easy, that's serious. You know what I mean? So he recorded something. He saw something. He recorded it and created a song, and needed to retouch with the fact that he hasn't written something in months, but he decided to record it on that phone and wanted to revisit the child in him or the relationships, even touching back to the first time his heart was broken. As Paperboy, Paperboy, all about that Paperboy. I thought that was a great moment that they try to capture and expand upon, but I don't understand if that person who had his phone and had the same phone number somehow can sing a song to him, touch his heart, but then the person who actually had the phone was the person close to, well, so-called close to him. I think the metaphor is that don't trust the white nigga that's next to you, even though you think he's cool because you need a white nigga next to you. That's the nigga that's gonna stab you in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we still are searching for the reason behind it.
Well, we always will. Let's move right along. Last topic of the day. Unfortunately, we lost another legend, DJ K Slay. So I just wanted to end it on today's episode on the fact that DJ K Slay was a legend. So, what are some of the favorite moments? Whether it be a mixtape, whether it be a song that he was on, whether it be something he did on his radio show of DJ K Slay. Before we go ahead and head out for the night, Mary, I'll come to you first.
Man. Um, I don't know. I just got to say that this is a loss is really like an understatement. I think that a lot of people don't really even know all the contributions that the drama king brought to the culture. Number one, he really gave a voice to the voiceless for people who are incarcerated, right? Like, number one, he'd always start his radio show on Hot 97 with a shout out to like every single jail that there was. Literally, it would be like, Rikers, lock in, like Arthur Kill, lock in. Like, it was really, something special that no one else was doing. He was behind a lot of publications that were specific for, for jails, basically. And I knew a couple of people who like actually like got a break in the industry, modeling for his publication. So I think that was something that he was passionate about and, was something that hip hop really, matters a lot to those who are locked down and, especially back in the 90s. And people kind of, don't look back usually. And K-Slay did that. So I think that's one thing a lot of people don't really think about when they think of him. Another thing is he broke a lot of music, right? Like his mixtapes were legendary, especially in like the late 90s. Like him and DJ Clue, like those were the two mixtape kings that, at least in New York, that we were like waiting for. And like if you got a K-Slay cosign, then you were valid in the streets, right? And like 50 would even say, and I think he posted it, that like he really got his break from K-Slay. So that's like huge also. And then one thing that I didn't even really know until his passing, when I started, researching and to kind of try to tell his story, was he started as a graffiti artist by the name of Dez. And, basically he was like one of the most well-known graffiti artists in the Bronx. And then eventually, as hip hop really started taking a turn to be more popular, he put down the spray paint cans for the turntables and had like a whole second life as a legendary DJ. So I think that his contributions to the culture definitely will be felt forever.
All right. Hey, Mary said it all there. Anything anybody want to add?
Yeah. Go. Yeah. You got something? I'm sorry.
I'll go after.
No, so the original version of Purple Haze from Cameron was on his mixtape, Street Sweepers Volume 1. So I remember when K Slay dropped his mixtapes and he finally made it mainstream, and you had Nas, 50, like you said, 50 was on his first album, stuff like that. There was Nori, there was Cam, there was like Busta, Styles P. They all respected him, Fat Joe and the rest of them. So I remember with the whole digging in the crates. Then he had his Street Sweepers Volume 1. And I always say this, I always preface every conversation I have when it comes to hip hop about how your peers respect you. And K Slade was one of those people that a lot of people didn't know about, but his peers respected him. So if there was something that was going to be broken, K Slade was one of those DJs, like you said, him. Clue got it, drama, whatever. Like Clue got it, K Slade got it. You know what I mean? Like Diamond D was there and everything like that. And he was one of those people that got that because they respected him. I think we've seen on Nori's podcast, the hip hop legends will go on there and talk about stories that built them up, who the people that were real to them, that connected to them, connected with them, and basically expanded the culture. But K Slade was one of those people that people respected, even though they didn't talk about him. People respected him. And I go back to that conversation: who's the greatest hip hop artist or legendary artist of all time? The reason I'll say Nas is because not we appreciate him, but the musicians, the artists appreciate him for being the greatest rapper of all time. But back to K Slay, if Eminem's gonna do a freestyle with you, if 50 Cent is gonna say because of you I got here, there's a reason. That's who K Slay was.
Agree wholeheartedly, Baylor.
Being a person from the West Coast, obviously I wouldn't know that much about it compared to the people that was born in the same area, but we stayed with his mixtapes. You know what I mean? Like Mary said, it was is either between him or Clue at that time. And I think one thing that I realized as an adult now, because we're talking about almost 20, 30 years ago, is that he separated hip hop fans. And what I mean by that is that while some people, we was listening to his tracks or his albums like during warm ups. You know what I'm saying, before football and basketball games, because he had the shit that made you want to go out there and you know, hit a nigga. You know what I mean? Hence the DJ, the king of drama and things like that. So it was basically one of those where if you had, and I'm not afraid to say it, I burned a lot of his CDs. You know what I mean at that time. But yeah, it's a legend, and especially when your name means something in 2022. You know the type of work that he put in back in the late 90s, and absolutely we will never forget about that.
DJ K Slay is a legend. And when you look at like his drops, his voice, everything, but like as somebody who was living overseas, DJ K Slay's mixtapes were a lot of introductions for me to New York, to East Coast artists that I wouldn't really probably have gotten a chance to hear otherwise. Yeah, what K Slay did, you can't take away from at all. When you look at the artists that he was putting on his mixtapes at a time where you weren't hearing a lot of them. So yeah, I mean everything that K Slay did, you can't take away from. Mary put him up there with drama, and that's absolutely correct. It was him and DJ Drama that were holding it down at one point in time. So that's it.
I got a question.
It was gritty too. It was gritty too. So if you purchase his albums, I knew what type of person you were.
Wow. I know what type of person you are. Very good. How did it make its way to the Midwest and the West Coast?
That's the thing. Over here, we made y'all like I don't know if it's the same for y'all, but we got, and this is why the love for the East Coast was so loud and upfront, is because we got everything that y'all got to a certain extent. Like y'all may have gotten the mixtapes faster than us, but we got them. You know what I mean? And then for some of us that had to dig a little bit harder, we did that. You know what I mean? Once we got word of a certain artist up and coming, I remember Lloyd Banks' name was bubbling for a while. And it was a lot of artists like that. It was a lot of artists we found out before they even became a part of a group. We heard of them. And it was just, I'm not sure how, I'm not sure what pipeline we was getting it through, but we was getting the same shit. But obviously it's homegrown for y'all. So y'all could basically walk down to a bodega and pick up a mixtape because it's like right there. But we did the same thing. We walked down to the swap meet. We walked down to the record shop, and it was there. You know what I'm saying? If their street team was as good as they say it was, we had it. You know what I mean? There's no. It's not a coincidence that the Rough Riders is everywhere. I'm seeing niggas still with Rough Rider jackets on and motorcycles in LA. You know what I mean? So if your street team is what you say it is on those mixtapes, oh, well, we know about you then. We know about you.
Hmm.
All right. Anything else?
This is what I love about the culture. When you didn't have streaming apps, you had mixtapes, and everybody heard about, yo, you heard this dude. When you heard Nas was coming, when you heard Biggie was coming, like there was no social media. It was more like you need to hear this mixtape, and that was the culture. And then, like we said, it's mass produced now. But I remember, and to Baylor's point, I remember when Ice Cube crossed over here. So when you heard Nas, when you heard about Biggie and everything, when we heard about Cube,
Mm-hmm.
like we heard NWA, but when we heard about Cube, it was like, yo, we got to respect the West Coast. When we started respecting the West Coast, it wasn't because NWA fucked the police, because that was more shock value. We respected the West Coast because of Cube. You know what I mean? Like when we heard Kill at Will, and we heard like, yo, these motherfuckers ain't playing. It's not even they appreciate the fucking culture, and we understand your story. That's what it's about. So the fact that this got over there, K Slay got over there, and this is what we're losing. You know what I mean? Like, and this is the whole thing with the Jack Harlow conversation. We don't have this appreciation for the art, the music, and the culture anymore. Like,
We're not going back to that. But
no, I'm just saying in general. Like, this is why these conversations are necessary, because there's a personal attachment to where you fell in love with hip hop and what it means to you and why it's so valuable.
yeah.
But
Well, what I also think this.
oh, go ahead,
Go
man.
ahead. No, you go. I was
I,
kind of going in a different direction, so get
I
yours off.
I was going to say the times are different though. Back in the '90s, between the early, mid, and late '90s, that was the beef. No pun, but that was the thickness of hip hop right there. Because now we're expressing our territories, our cities, our boroughs, etc. We're beefing with each other. We're friends with each other. I think in the '90s, niggas was still trying to figure it out. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Very true.
And then after that, it started to spiral off into what I call alternative hip hop. You know what I mean?
Mm,
But in the '90s, it was more the gritty. It was just different. We appreciated the craft so much more because everything was new. When
Mm-hmm.
when Dipset came out, when NWA came out, Crisscross came out, Outkast, all these groups came out, it was the first of their kind. Whereas if you fast forward, everybody is a part of a branch somewhere. You know what I mean? Little Wayne is actually a tree, and there's other artists that's branches off of that tree now. So yeah, we're not going to appreciate it anymore because we've seen the main person. We've seen the Michael Jordans. You know what I mean? So we're not going to appreciate it anymore because like the history has already been set. It's the artists these days. Some of them probably don't respect the history, even though they sample most of it. But
mm,
I mean, it is what it is. That's why DJ K Slade is so prominent and is cemented in hip hop because he laid the foundation for a lot of artists that we consider legends. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? He let them get they shit off that they probably wouldn't be able to get off on any other mixtape.
true.
Very true. What I was gonna say was I think another conversation that comes up is COVID ain't over, y'all. Because like it's astounding to me that he died of COVID. Like,
Yeah.
and basically he had it for like a few months. I mean, I remember must have been January when we were all like posting like prayers up for K-Slay because he had just been diagnosed and was in the hospital. And it seemed like he came out of it. Like he even was like personally thanking people publicly on social media for like their well wishes. And to hear that, like, then it took another turn for the worse. And he now has died is really like mind blowing. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
COVID ain't over. But all right.
You can't wear your mask. You don't have to wear your mask on planes anymore.
right. That's a little scary for me, honestly.
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm still
fuck
wearing
y'all.
my damn mask on the
I
plane.
don't
Fuck
trust
all
y'all
that.
motherfuckers. You and Karen and Kyle.
But that's it. That's another episode of the Breaks Radio. Mary, go ahead and give me social media, man. Let's get up out of here.
Yep. I'm at Miss Mary Almonte on all social platforms, and follow Young Urban Moms, and follow Rock the Bells. Yay.
Baylor?
At Baylorism on what is it, Twitter and TikTok, and that's it. Oh, in closing, like I know I usually try to end with something funny, but when we lose legends like that, it only shows that we getting older. So hold on into the 90s as much as you can.
That is a fact.
Here,
And
Great
here.
words.
While you're holding on, watch Baylor because that motherfucker keeps me alive. Dude, keep it going. I love you. Seriously. You didn't shout out the fact that you were on Lisa Evers. I think that should be plugged in because you're amazing. Mental health is a real issue. Hayes, get your weight back up. I feel for you, bro. I know it ain't COVID and nothing like that, but we're prayers for you. We'll probably start a GoFundMe to make sure you're good and everything. But don't follow me. Trust me.
You can follow me at CEO Hayes. You can follow us collectively at The Breaks Radio. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. 614-547-2039.
Is that a new number?
We are, huh?
That's a new number?
It's been our number.
614? Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Thank you for joining the number one podcast for the culture. We out this bitch. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
You want me to send you some graham crackers? Hey?
I'm gonna fuck you